Hello, Deep Mindfulness Collective. This right here, right. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now, it's the joy of being a live stream coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York. Folks, I'm very excited to be here with you. I am delighted, in fact, to be here with you. What's going on? I just put the dog down to sleep. That was not intended. Put the dog down to sleep. And so she's going to be a little quieter so we can have ourselves a little fun time. Meditating in peace, God damn it. What is up, folks? What's going on? Where are folks at? Where are you located? That's what I want to know. And what are you grateful for? Oops. What? What? Trying to type here. Hello. Grateful for a sunny day in Brooklyn. That's what I am grateful for. Folks, where are you located? What are you grateful for? Very happy to be here with you today. What else? Meditation. We're going to be meditating today, and excited because guess what? Folks have been asking for this for a very long time. I think they've asked for so long that the people who asked for it are probably deceased. Welcome, Julia Temple. Hello from Vienna, Austria. Grateful for London. Lovely. Well, I'm glad you're grateful for London. Why? I would be curious why you're grateful for London, but people have been asking for this for a long time, and it's coming to I was going to say theater. It's not coming to a theater. It's coming to, there's the lights there. It's coming to a reality near you very soon, which is group mentorship. That's right. Mentorship, not for one, but for group. Group mentorship. Lovely as always, because I love it. I love it too. I've never been there. I should go there. Okay. New life goal is just to travel a lot. I travel for functional things, and I don't travel for like no reason. And I want more reasons to travel for no reason. That's a good plan. Nick, hello, popping in from Gothenburg office, overloaded with work, so I can't join today. Listen, I need to have a talk with your boss. I think you just put them online. Let them know when they're here, and I'm happy to give them a message. But wishing you all and the dogs a peaceful day. Grateful for the internet. I'm grateful too. No, seriously though, get your boss on the line here and let him know that there's a live stream and that I have some words for him. Travel for functional things is lovely too. It is lovely, and typically what I do is I do the classic, there's some thing that I need to do, it pays for the ticket, and then I just hang out. That's often what happens. That's how I got a little break and got to hang out in California for a number of days, which was lovely. Yeah. Okay. So folks, we're going to meditate today. And the big question is around what are we going to do with meditation? I need to sit down and get a full-on plan, because I had at some point I had a plan of how the meditations would unfold over time. I think that's coming soon. I got to lay that out, and that'll be fun. But for now, this is what we are doing. What would folks like to do? I feel like a few options that I see are, I was thinking about just doing stabilization. We did this recently, just stabilizing the mind, more mind stabilization, and potentially rolling that back, rolling that into some practice around awareness. And Jean is just joining us now. Jean, where are you at? What are you grateful for? Good to see you here. If anyone else is joining us, let me know the same thing. And yeah. Also, P.S., this is someone else advised me. They said, I think you need a COO. So I'm right now thinking, I think I need to find someone who's going to be a COO of this company and get stuff done, which would be lovely. And then we'll go from there. To actually get a lot of these projects that I keep saying I want to do, and then I don't get that stuff going. So Let's meditate today. If anyone has any requests other than that, stabilization and maybe some practice around awareness, then that would be great. Gabriel, joining from Montreal. Gabriel, I'm very curious what it is that you're grateful for. And then we'll go from there. I feel like this Live for Brooklyn thing looks kind of like a neck tattoo. I feel like that could be, I could see that as being a very Brooklyn neck tattoo. Grateful for a warm day. Is it warm today? I hope that would be great. I would love for a warm day. Willow can't touch the ground, so I'm walking around with her in hand, and it's very sweet, but it's also nice if it's not raining. I've been doing that with an umbrella, which is terrifying to her, and rain hitting her in the face, which is also very confusing. So the suggestion sounds good. Lovely. Well, we can't start yet because we still haven't found out what Gabriel is grateful for. And once we do, we'll be able to start from there. So, folks, we're going to be meditating in stillness for 25 minutes. What that's going to mean is we're going to arrange the body well and not move unless we feel like we have to. I feel like everyone who's here maybe has heard this, but if you feel overwhelmed, feel a little like intensity, you got to move, go ahead, feel free to move. Make an adjustment, etc. But other than that, we want to keep the body entirely still. Even if we realize partway through, I think I chose this position poorly and this hurts, still don't move, but just wait maybe 30 seconds and make the move really slowly and mindfully rather than just like, okay, just forget it, move quickly, and then get back to the meditation. Grateful for this stream this morning. Lovely. Okay, well, Gabriel, we are grateful that you're here on this stream. In fact, if you weren't here on the stream, we wouldn't be doing it, or at least you wouldn't be able to tell if we were doing it. So we're grateful that you're here so that we can even exist. So find that nice comfortable position that you can maintain for the duration of the sit, and we will rocket ourselves into a fourth dimension of existence, which is code for, we'll say it with our eyes closed. And P.S., eyes being closed is an option. So if you don't know this, you can actually practice with the eyes open. In fact, this is recommended in some cases. It is a way to advance your practice, but it depends where you're at. We'll go from there. So find a position that you can maintain for the duration of the sit. Take any final sips of your cloudy water, and we'll begin. Turn your microphone off so you can cough and clear your throat without deafening anyone. And then you're ready to roll. Okay, folks, when you're ready, that's a good idea. Do a tiny bit of a stretch so you don't need to adjust during the practice itself. That's a good idea. Oh, yeah. And when you're ready, we will begin. Beginning by taking a few comfortable deep breaths and just feeling the body rise and fall. Each time we begin a meditation, we begin with the momentum of all of the previous moments. So trillions and trillions of different circumstances that came to pass in order for this moment to exist. All the way back to the beginning of time itself. And we can't tell all of those different bits and pieces, but we can experience their result. So without trying to interpret where things come from, feel our present moment experience here. See the darkness of closed eyes or the eyes resting on a single point. Recognizing that what's spilling into consciousness, into our current experience, is the result of countless causes and effects. And the complexity of our current experience, this richness, is not to be underestimated. Not only is there the incredible amount of material that's appearing in this particular moment, all the sense data arising, but the fact that all of this sense data is in contact with a consciousness, something that can know that experience. This is mind-bogglingly unlikely. So part of our job is to care about how unlikely this is. Not to think about it, but to treat this particular moment as this impossible or just nearly impossible experience. With that framing, beginning to physically relax the body, and physically relaxing more than we can physically feel. Relaxing all of the major muscle groups of the body, the head, neck and shoulders, the arms and hands, the torso, the hips and legs, and the feet. And then relaxing everywhere in the body all together. And then bringing some attention to the sensations of the hands. If you'd like, you could even employ some very tiny micro movements in the hands, so subtle that someone even touching the hand couldn't tell that anything was happening. Just to feel all of that potential sensation in the hands. And if at any point it's challenging to stay with the sensations of the hands, we can add these ultra subtle micro movements just to bring us back, but ultimately letting those go if possible. Soaking into the sensations of the hands. Recognizing these sensations as being part of this impossibility, part of this beautiful poetry of experiencing. Like the strange worlds of nature, expanding and contracting, the sensation of touch is so ancient. And we can imagine it going back, but we can have direct contact with it now. So each time we have clear contact with this sensation, each time we find that respectful, appropriate awe at the uniqueness of these sensations in the mind, we can label that this. This. Knowing that each time that uniqueness is redefined, and so each time we use that word, know that it refers to that particular sensation in this particular moment. Nothing could be more unique. And the name for that is this. And our goal is continuity and quality. How long can we stay with this quality? Trying to force the mind there doesn't work very well, so interest is a driving engine. This. This. And if we find that we're substantially pulled away for, let's say, more than 3 to 5 seconds, if it's less than that, just returning to this. If possible, not letting the mind slip into boredom or the repetitious rhythm. But if we do get pulled away, we simply label whatever we're pulled to, whatever has distracted us, as not this. Being sure that by the time we get to the second half of that phrase, we've returned to this. If you find that you're distracted, and as soon as you return, you're just back at this. There's no need to use or not this label. And I'm going to give us a little bit of a challenge to see if we can stay very close to connected with this for 10 seconds. And I'll count. I'll let you know when it's over, but this is a little micro challenge. If some part of you is nervous now because there's a challenge, that's fine. That's simply not this. So we'll begin now. landed on. That's perfect. Knowing that any judgment or assessment is natural, expected, but it's also not this. Once again, we'll try a challenge, and this time it'll be for 15 seconds. Not a problem, just an opportunity to contact this. And we'll begin now. Good. Sometimes these challenges make it harder, and if that's the case, we can just let these go. Sometimes they teach us things. Sometimes we see the mind suddenly try just efforting and pushing, which doesn't work very well, so it tries something else. A way of just holding appreciation or care with stability. So we'll do one more. This one will be for a whole 20 seconds. Again, judgments and assessments are simply not this. And we'll begin now. Good. Whatever we learned at this moment is much less important than this. Truly surrendering to this. Means all of our selves, the ego, these various parts of us, in a way, have to give up. Have to be willing to let go somewhere into the background. Scary. But all of that inner turmoil is simply not this. allowing a tiny bit of light to enter the eyes. Remembering that whatever happens at this moment is fine. It's simply not this. So continuing the practice, eventually allowing the eyes to rest on a single point that is not text, not a screen. Letting the spaciousness of seeing expand the spaciousness of awareness. Letting awareness take in all of our experience. Noticing that this can occur and we can still have contact with this. And in this way, recognizing that this moment is the great teacher. It shows us how we might bring this practice into every aspect of our life. Okay. So take a moment to adjust in any way. Any way that would allow you to feel comfortable. I never noticed this couch was squeaky. And as we begin to get ready to type our experiences using the exact thing we're using to meditate, for fun, you can go ahead and allow your hands to move. You can look at them if you want. But notice that what we've been attending to, what we've been calling this, is took a lot of work to some degree to stay with, to let go of other things. And now just by moving the hands, this is a great integration tool. We can just really feel. We're just feeling the hands. It doesn't even actually take a lot of effort. Just feeling that experience. Part of what we are doing is letting it be important, letting it be significant. So use those digits and type in your experience. What was that experience like? What happened? What do you like now? We are also going to crack wide open our Discord so that if you want to chat, use the old voice machine, the old, what do they call it? Pie hole? You can. I'm going to give you the link for the waiting room. So just stay in the waiting room. Okay, and then we'll go from there. Yeah. Okay. What was that experience like? What happened? What do you like now? I feel very system down. I'm like, I don't want to talk anymore. But it's your job. What was that experience like? What happened? What are you like now? No one, it's funny, people rarely take that seriously, what I say, but that's a perfect code for writing a very rich report. What it was like, what happened, and what you're like now. Full on. I think that might be too much for a lot of people because there's a lot there. Okay, let's find out what people say here. Thank you for your rich reports here that I'm seeing. Left and right rich reports coming up. Gangbusters here. Okay, where is the... there it is. Beep, pop, pop. Okay, great. Jean says the following.
It felt today like I was able to tap into the simplicity of the game. The suggestion of micro-movement in the hands really helped keep my focus there, more than usual.
Great.
At one point I allowed myself some slow neck rolls, was feeling a lot of tension. Otherwise, a fairly peaceful non-mind racing sit.
Great. Yeah, I decided to start telling people that you can use micro movements. And when I say micro movements, I mean like this level of micro movement. It's actually almost, I think once you actually get into it, I don't even know if we're actually activating muscles. It's probably activating the peptides in the muscles that would activate them if we wanted to move. That's probably what's happening, which P.S., this might be confusing, but that's very closely related to the experience of what emotions are. I'm very shiny today. I think this is just moisturizer without any dampening. Okay, but the point is that micro movements can be really helpful, especially when we start to get distracted. Okay, then we have Julia Temple, who says,
this practice elicits more resistance than spacious awareness.
Excellent.
I tried to balance making my touch light and staying in touch with the practice. Used my feet instead of my hands because my hands are moved so much by my usual kriyas, arm jerking. Slightly more calm now than before, less agitated than during the practice itself.
Great. Okay. Excellent. So a couple things here. One is that was a great adjustment to use your feet rather than your hands. Very wise way to arrange what you're describing. What I would also say is the following, that is that I heard Michael Taft say this recently. I thought it was interesting that if someone is having Kundalini difficulties, lots of like energy, like is to work and keep the energy below the navel. And that is a way to stabilize what's happening. So I'd be curious with your kriyas and what's happening, if that's possible, if that even makes any sense. We don't really talk about energy or that kind of thing too much, but it's exactly what you did today, which is a lot of it is keep it below the waist, and that sort of to short circuit some of the challenges. I've never tried that myself, actually, because it's been a while since some of that material's come up, but something to consider. Maybe something worth trying. Very interesting. Okay. And also keep in mind that it tends to be the case that the mind will treat this practice like it's something small, and awareness is nice and big and spacious and that kind of thing. Of course, if you move forward in this practice very far, we did this for like a moment right at the end, you open up awareness, and awareness can be large and spacious and still have this be very important. Sometimes it feels central. Sometimes it can feel like what we're describing as this can be spread across our entire sensory space. And that can be powerful, is just to have the data there somewhere. And it's just sort of, I can tell it's the sensations of whatever X thing, maybe the hands. And that is, but it's not in any place in particular, or the place that it is sort of a vague, field of material. That can happen too. Not a problem. Good times for all. And yeah, excellent, excellent. Okay, any other reports or questions? Anything coming up for folks? No pressure. It's been a pretty chill vibe lately, so whatever suits people's fancy, and then we'll go from there. Okay, and also P.S. wanted to mention that as mentioned before, group mentorship is coming soon, so it'll be small groups going through 4-month semesters, which seems like a long time, but trust me, it is not. There's a lot to get through. And in that time, we'll work on 2 directions. This is the 2 directions that it's going. One is we talk about heal to transcend, or we could talk about it from our everyday life to transcendent material. And the flip side is transcendent material to our everyday life. Both covering the same material. It just matters from like which direction you start from. So that's what it will be, the general breakdown of this thing. So that's the case. That is the case. And if you want information about that, sign up on our website. If you have not signed up, make sure to do so. How do you do that? You follow this link. This will give you 15 guided meditations. If you get those meditations, you'll be on our list. So double benefit there for everybody, I think. Hopefully. Those 15 meditations are pretty killer. They're the ones I use with all my students, so hopefully you like them too. Okay, what do we got here? Julia Temple now says,
I briefly tried that below the navel suggestion. Not sure if I'd describe anything I feel as energy,
Got
but
it.
the thing closest to it seems to grow stronger above the navel when I do so.
Okay, so when you try to keep it below the navel, what is appearing above the navel seems stronger. Okay, well, again, this is not my forte. This is not my jam. So what I can also do is that Michael has a drop-in. You can check on Michael Taft's class. He has a drop-in Thursday night class group, and he has his Thursday night group. So it's like a little drop-in group, and then right after that, they do their class. So check that out. You can go in and probably ask questions, live stream, that kind of thing. Hopefully that is exciting and interesting, etc. So, okay, any other reports or questions, curiosities, interests, queries, or problems? Anything else coming up for folks? I'm happy to answer any questions if I can. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Very interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else coming up for folks? Any life challenges? Anything you want to know about? Do you want to know about my routine on how to make sure a dog becomes beautifully trained and is happy? Julia says,
Speaking of energy, what do you think about energized meditation practices? Like, for instance, doing some intense breathing, almost hyperventilating, at the beginning of a session to help buried, stuck issues come up.
yeah, well, that's like a breath-based practice. That's lovely. Highly recommend. Those are basically every practice has its benefits and its deficits, and I think some of that stuff is very cool. In fact, I'm thinking about having a breath-based teacher on here coming soon. So hopefully that would be fun, and hopefully that'd be a good time. So check it out, and check out here, but also let me know who your favorite people are. I think we're going to start trying to do teachers as guests, and I think we want to try to get someone who's like managing that. That's actually that probably same person we were talking about before, who would be kind of a COO, helping us manage all the bits and pieces. Excellent. Okay, so hit me now or forever hold your pizza. We are final questions, reports, interest, opportunities, curiosities, queries, or problems. Hit me with those in the chat now. And if not, we'll just jump out of here and come back in fewer than 48 hours and have a good time. Once more, Exalted says, what's the reason people say not to mess with Kundalini energy stuff? You know, that's a very hard thing to say, because I'm sure some people also say do not do Vipassana, do not do deconstructive Vipassana, do not do jhanas, do not do the likelihood without any, because I know people who've had excellent experiences with that stuff. The likelihood, the simplest, most cynical answer is that people don't have experience with it. I don't have a ton of experience with it, but they don't have experience with it, and they, what was I going to say? Don't have experience with it, and they have heard weird stories or something like that. But a lot of, when they say like the rising and passing, a lot of people say that is just Kundalini energy stuff. That's exactly what that is. Julia, thank you for the tier 1 gift to Scott Nesbin. Scott, didn't even know you were here hiding in the background, but you just got a gift subscription from Julia Temple. Thank you so much. It is very kind when people give those gift subscriptions. Always appreciated. What a lovely time. Thank you for that. Let's see what else. Anyone also, before we go, this is very important. If you're new here, if we don't know who you are, we want to know right now. Just say hello. We have a special way of welcoming you. And then we'll hit the skis. We'll hit the slopes. I'll give it a few more seconds because there's a lag. I always wonder, there was that other platform that collapsed that was like lag free. It's like 1/10 of a second. It's better for, interactions. Which tradition? Well, Kundalini. Which tradition usually focuses more on energy stuff? Kundalini does. That's 100%. That's a big thing that they focus on. Which other ones are like on things like energy? I feel like Kundalini is the big one, so that's the one that's coming to mind right now. So hopefully that's helpful if that's of interest. Yeah, check it out. I'd love to hear more about it. It's not my background. Okay, folks, lovely as always to see you here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Julia, for the gift subscription to Scott. Scott, do you know what that means? That means you have no advertisements, which I am amazed that people, I would I mean, I'm sorry that we can't shut that. There's no power to shut those off. So I think people have to see advertisements in this stream. If there's some way to shut those off that I don't know about, please, God, tell me. Also, P.S. If anyone has Amazon Prime, you can do that for free. Let me see if I have a link for this. Nope. What is it? This then? I should have a thing for this. I should have a shortcut for this. But it says, yeah, it chooses randomly. Yeah, when you give subscribe, it gives it randomly. But was it random really? I don't know about that. Wait, maybe it's this. Yes, there it is. If you have Amazon Prime, you can go to this and get a free subscription to the live stream, meaning you wouldn't see any commercials. That is free, and it supports us, the creators, so it is free for you and gives us support. So there's that thing. Also, P.S. we have a Patreon. I should tell people this. I don't even know if I have a shortcut for this. No, I don't. Just shows how much I talk. Probably should set this stuff up. Okay, Tamalan, Team Tamalan, we need to set up a shortcut link for Patreon. Thank you very much. Along with the other things, I want progress. Exalted says, apparently Kundalini, Krishnamurti suffered from kind of Kundalini stuff for most of his life, was like an inner torture. Yeah, I mean, all sorts of crazy experiences can happen to people, but he was very functional. He had a happy life. He enjoyed his life. So just know that anything, any weird thing can happen to people. It's also possible, right? I just want to put this out there that what people are experiencing, I don't want to say this is what is happening, but someone like this is experiencing some, this stuff that's all happening inside of me. It could be, I mean, this is one interpretation, total possibility. Total thing I'm saying in the dark here, unqualified. What if it was, for instance, trauma, but instead of it feeling horribly painful and making their whole life not work, it just felt like this intense energy that was coming and spilling, and they were just processing trauma for their whole lives, which wouldn't be terribly surprising. I would rather have that thing than just be suffering endlessly from trauma. So, okay, this is probably not the thing also. Yep, nope. So it's that's our Patreon. Lovely. If you ever want to support us there, that's also great too. Very helpful and very appreciated. Okay, folks, lovely to see you here. Let's hit it with a little outro music here. Some of my favorite tunes, some of my jams. Folks, as always, lovely to be here with you. I'm very happy we'll be back here in fewer than 48 hours to hang out, have a good time. So at this particular moment, pick whatever this is. This might be a sound or a sensation or whatever it is, but really appreciate whatever that is. Appreciate that clarity, the beauty. As always, practice well, take care of each other, have fun, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Bye.